Travel along, Catholic pilgrims, as we learn from St. Augustine, Doctor of the Church, while we read his book, Confessions. Hello, Catholic pilgrims, welcome. We have a short reading today all about self-knowledge. Let's open to Book 10, Chapter 5 on page 210. It is you, O Lord, who judge me. For though no one can know a man's thoughts except the man's own spirit that is within him, there are some things in man which even his own spirit within him does not know. But you, O Lord, know all there is to know of him, because you made him. Yet though, in your sight, I despise myself and consider myself as mere dust and ashes, there is one thing that I know about you, which I do not know about myself. I know that it is impossible for you to suffer harm, whereas I do not know which temptations I can resist and which I cannot. This much I know, although at present I am looking at a confused reflection in a mirror, not yet face to face. And therefore, as long as I am away from you during my pilgrimage, I am more aware of myself than of you. But my hope lies in the knowledge that you do not play us false. You will not allow us to be tempted beyond our powers. With the temptation itself, you will ordain the issue of it and enable us to hold our own. I shall therefore confess both what I know of myself and what I do not know. For even what I know about myself, I only know because your light shines upon me. And what I do not know about myself, I shall continue not to know until I see you face to face, and my dusk is noonday. St. Augustine says here today, quote, "There are some things in man which even his own spirit within him does not know," unquote. It is true that God knows us even better than we know ourselves, and a big reason why that is because we don't take the time to understand ourselves for fear of what we will find. There are also just way too many distractions. In order to understand ourselves, we need to spend some time in silence, reflection, and solitude. Only then can we hope to see ourselves for who we truly are. Now, I'll give you a humorous example of coming to understand yourself. I have a deep aversion to spherical food. I don't want to eat your meatballs. I don't like looking at boiled eggs. Please don't ever give me a cake pop. I'm not a fan of boba. My cherry tomatoes need to be cut in half in order to eat them. However, blueberries don't bother me. But other than that, I am not a fan of round food. And people get a kick out of this, and they usually ask me why this is. And for the longest time, I simply said, I don't know. But then I was thinking to myself, this is a weird quirk. It had to come from somewhere. So I started looking back over my life, trying to understand where this came from. Well, I landed on the source of the problem. When I was in grade school, we would go to recess before lunch, and after recess, all the kids would come in, and the boys never went to wash their hands. And some days we would get rolls, and the boys would pull out the inside of the rolls, roll the bread into a ball in their dirty, greasy hands. Oh, it makes me sick just thinking about it. And then pop that slick, nasty piece of dough into their mouths. Ugh. And I would watch this and be utterly grossed out. That led me to not liking food rolled in people's hands, meatballs, cake pops, etc. And then just the whole round food category became unpleasant to me. So because I had taken the time to understand my quirkiness, I found the source of the problem. Now, this is, of course, a funny story, but on a more serious note, it is important to spend time understanding ourselves and why we do what we do, why we believe what we believe, why we struggle with certain sins like we do. You don't need to obsess over yourself, but it is good to know yourself as best as you can, and that can only happen with time spent in silence, reflection, and solitude. And that is all for today, Catholic pilgrims. Don't delay and come back tomorrow, but until then, live the faith boldly and travel well.